Hey, it's Buddy Lee. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be going over my team and plan for Grandmaster's Gauntlet. I'm going to be using Double Edge and Liquid Courage masteries, so my team is selected with this in mind. And the team I selected is Colossus, Professor X, Apocalypse, I-Hulk, and Namor. I'm bringing Colossus with me because I want to utilize his synergy with Professor X for poison resistance. This will make my Apocalypse extremely sustainable. So let's go over the paths, and I'll quickly go over who I will use for each fight and if I have any specific strategies. The first fight against Doom should be an easy I-Hulk solo. He's an extra large champion, so we'll ignore the micro reflect node due to the size matters node. Next up, Terrax will be a Namor fight, and I should be able to get another solo here if I can hit all my intercepts. Then Vision, I'm going to use I-Hulk. He can nuke down over 50% per attempt, so I'll try to revive once, and then I will quit out when Vision has a couple percent health left, and finish off with Professor X to get him a charge. That extra charge is going to help in this next fight against MODOK. I'll use Apocalypse here, and we'll be using parry, medium, heavy until I get to SP3, then parry and throw the SP3 to take advantage of stun vulnerability. Hopefully the regen APOC will get from Professor X poison resistance will make it easier to get the solo. For Spider-Ham, I'll use Professor X, and when I test ran this path he got the solo pretty easily, so hopefully I can reproduce that outcome. After this, he'll have 3 Cerebro charges and be providing 54% poison resistance. For Weapon X, I'm thinking I'll go with Apocalypse, and if that doesn't go well, I wouldn't mind finishing him off with Professor X to get his 4th charge. For the Thing fight, I'm going to try to get the solo with I-Hulk. It might be a longer I-Hulk fight than his normal fights, but a slow playing I-Hulk is a very sustainable I-Hulk. I've actually tested I-Hulk vs Abyss Thing before, and I was able to get around 45% health off before running out of Abyss charges. For Mixmaster Korg, I'll go with Professor X to start, and I have Namor to throw at him too. I'm assuming I'll be using a few revives here at least, as this can be a very tricky fight. For the Stun Immune Dragon Man, I'll try to go with Professor X, and depending on how it goes, I may end up using the whole team and then a team revive. Now, Black Panther Civil War, I'll be using Apocalypse. He should be really sustainable at this point with 72% poison resistance. I'll really be missing Tiger here for this fight though. We get a little breather with this fairly easy Nightcrawler, and I'll let Colossus get in on the action. He can just parry heavy through the fight and should be an easy solo. Then Spider-Gwen, I'll use Professor X, and if he fails, I can bring in Apocalypse and try to build him up to 100% evade counter. I'm not sure if Force of will work against that or not, but I guess we'll see. For Domino, I'll use Apocalypse. That power shield should give some very nice special attacks. Anyone else should work here as well to finish her off. Next is Mojo, and this can be a very difficult fight if you let him build up his persistence charges. I will use I-Hulk and try to smash him down quickly. I-Hulk will be able to hang in there longer against his degen since he'll store 60% of the degen as Gamma. I-Bomb will be another I-Hulk fight. I need to try to avoid getting heal blocked from crippling failure at an inopportune time that would prevent the heal when coming out of Immortal. For Apocalypse, I'll be using I-Hulk again. I'll try to push him to Special 2 as much as possible so I can easily evade and save on chip damage. Next is Sasquatch, and this will be the 4th I-Hulk fight in a row. Sasquatch's regen can be a big pain, so I plan to get my SP2 off when I have as many rage as I can muster, which will give up to 14 suppression debuffs. and this will eliminate the regen with the Despair Mastery, then I can quickly smash him down. For Killmonger, I'll use Namor, and it should be a pretty straightforward fight. Next is Void, and I'm hoping that Namor will be able to do this if I can stay aggressive enough and I won't have to switch off Double Edge and Liquid Courage. I'll be pretty annoyed if I do have to switch them, because I try to do all the content without switching them around, but it might take a few extra revives. And the last fight before Nameless Thanos is Nick Fury, and it'll basically be all mutants on deck. In this fight, it's kind of nice that they have kinetic transference to help push him to Special 2 and avoid him building his tactical charges. And finally, Nameless Thanos. For him, I'll use Apocalypse first and hopefully get through at least the first phase. Then I-Hulk for the second phase. He can cheese the degen aspect of this phase, and finish off with Namor if there's any left. So there you have it. That's my plan for tackling the Grandmaster's Gauntlet. Hopefully this ends up going smoothly and I don't regret any of my decisions. Well, that's it for this video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.